Before we get into this video, I want to let you know that I am teaching a tarot course this fall. So if you're interested, look at the link in the description below. And of course, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, everything you need to know is in the description below. Let's get into this video. All right, Scorpio. I finally got dressed up for you. For the other signs, I haven't really been like dolled up as I usually am, but I was like, let me get myself together today. Okay, your card's already shuffled, babe, so let's go ahead and get into it. I have that song, no new friend. That's stuck in my head, I don't know why. Okay. All right, let's just take this one by one. Current self is the Nine of Wands here. The Nine of Wands typically represents perseverance and pushing through. That's your current self. You're starting out the month of September wanting to push forward and get something done or handle something. A lot of times the Nine of Wands too is a message where like you want to give up, but you're just like, ugh. Usually the reverse position is like you're about to like throw in the towel and spirit is like, keep going. The Nine of Wands, you're almost like contemplating it. You're not completely there yet, but you're just like, is this still worth it? Am I still even on the right path? Like that's kind of where you are, but you've made it this far. So you kind of like, just, I might as well see it through, you know? Very resilient energy. Theme of the month is Knight of Wands. You are actually saying, you know what, fuck it. Balls to the wall. I am going for it. Knight of Wands is very ambitious energy. It represents the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It represents somebody who's very passionate, somebody who is eager to succeed and accomplish something, somebody who's very driven. Someone who like really wants to prove themselves to themselves, but also to others externally. Very fiery energy, very like, let's get this done. Like they might not do it the best, the neatest. They might not do it as methodically as the Knight of Pentacles. They might not be as compassionate as the Knight of Cups. They may not be as intellectual or strategic as the Knight of Swords, but they are going to get it fucking done. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the energy of the Knight of Wands. Okay. Now maybe this is relation to something that you want to accomplish, most likely a passion or goal of yours this month. Key goal to pursue is the Ten of Swords, which is interesting. I'm just skipping ahead here because what to embrace is also the world. So for me, when I see cards like this together in a reading, for me, it often signifies a closing point or an ending or closing of a chapter. There's like some sort of hair on my lip and it's going to bother me if I don't get it right now. I'm sorry. Did I get it already? There's like... Maybe I got it. All right. So for me, it's like not emotional. That's okay. Maybe emotional closure if that's what wanted to come out. Closure to something. A lot of times the Ten of Swords is betrayal. It's defeat. You kind of like are admitting defeat or you're feeling betrayed perhaps. And even just in its own right, the Ten of Swords is like you've put so much into something. It's time to just wrap it up, close up shop. No new customers are coming in. You gotta go. I do think this is separate though, because I've been doing this a long time and I don't believe that spirit would be giving you a message to say, okay, like you're in this place of perseverance, but also you need to close a chapter. Maybe you already know this needs to happen. Most times you do. In this position, the key goals to pursue. You already know this needs to happen, but closing that chapter is hard. Let's like use the example. I don't know why I'm using a store, but let's use the example of a store. Okay, you had a storefront, a retail location. It's not going well. The business isn't booming. So you're just like, fuck, I have to close my doors. You already know that, but maybe you're still trying to meet a certain quota so that you can even just like make the rent for that retail location that you opened up. Like you still have like a little bit of effort to exert before you can finally say, okay, I'm done with this and move on. Does that make sense? You apply that analogy to whatever area of your life, but that's what it feels like to me. Obstacle to overcome is the Emperor. The Emperor represents the fire signs Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It also, excuse me, not the fire signs, only Aries. Only Aries. I often get the Emperor confused with the King of Wands, which does represent the fire signs. But the Emperor is somebody who's very goal-oriented, very similar to the Knight of Wands. The Emperor was once the Knight of Wands, if that makes sense. Very controlling, very much knows what they want, very directive, someone who's a leader, someone who's a boss. This also connects to fatherhood energy. We'll come back and see specifically if this is about you needing to step into your Emperor energy or if this is relating to another person in your life. Okay. Major accomplishment is Two of Swords. There's likely something that you will have to make an important decision on at the end of the month. We'll see what that is too. What to avoid, 10 of Wands. Avoid taking too much responsibility. Really lean into delegating this month. Don't try to do everything yourself is usually the message of the 10 of Wands. Major accomplishment is the World. Let that chapter close. Let things go. You know we have an eclipse, 2 eclipses this month. So this is truly the time to wrap it up. Spirit's like, all right, baby, whatever you ain't learned by now, it's a wrap. Like we gotta move you on. We gotta get you to the next line, right? You know, I don't know why in my head I'm at the airport. I don't know why in my head the eclipses are TSA. All right, baby, whatever you ain't put in your bag, go ahead and just grab it and go, cause you whatever you forgot at home, it's the wrap. This is what you have with you. This is what you can only bring. Okay. Advice and encouragement is Queen of Cups, which is water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So maybe there's another water sign that you can lean on this month. This is also about being compassionate. Sometimes this is a message about healing yourself and looking after your personal emotional well-being and your emotional health and your self-care. And lastly, we have advice and encouragement, 7 of Swords, which is, for me, the card of strategy. So really lean into being strategic. Yes, you're passionate, but try, as you might, to be methodical and think some things through. And also, too, with the 7 of Swords, not everybody needs to know your business. Not everybody needs to know that you're closing your doors. Does that make sense? Not everybody knows you're taking a trip. Not everybody needs to know why, who, what, when, right? Let's clarify some of this. Let's clarify. All right. What do I want to clarify first? Why are you in this Knight of Wands energy is what I want to know. What is it that you're really passionate about? It's really driving you this month, Scorpio. What's driving Scorpio this month, please? All right, door to spirit. Okay, interesting. It's reversed. So you really need to kind of really be aware of the signs and messages the Spirit's trying to give you. That's not really clarifying this message for me, but okay, we'll receive it anyway. When this card is reversed, you may find yourself feeling an extreme disconnect. It seems your intuition is failing and you can't maintain the peaceful moments you are longing for. You may be too distracted by worldly matters or personal problems to arrive at and enjoy the deeper sense of your spiritual connection. The paradox is that the more you can let go of the drama, distractions, or intense emotions, the more your spiritual peace will bring you solutions for these issues. So relax and let go. Meditate on your soul self, your higher self that resides in your own heart center. Allow that connection to grow, and you'll find that many new doors will open as a result. Anything else? Why is Scorpio so passionate this month? Or what Scorpio is passionate about this month? Maybe I should use the Kipper deck for this. What is Scorpio passionate about this month? Imprisonment, feeling stuck. I feel like you've been feeling stuck, and maybe also why you feel disconnected from your intuition. So your goal, like you want to change your circumstances. And I feel like you're finally in an action-oriented state to do that. I'm flying a little blind because I didn't do my forecast for August, so I don't know what transpired. So I'm just going off of intuition here, okay? All right, let's move forward to the 10 of Swords. Why is this the key goal to pursue for Scorpio? We've got mature woman coming out. So maybe there's a woman involved. She doesn't necessarily have to be older. This could be someone who's just more mature or coming off as more mature. This could be your mother. Clarify. Key goals to pursue. Message. This is going to involve a message or a text message or phone call or email. It feels like you're having to cut ties with somebody, to be honest. Why is the Ten of Swords here for Scorpio? Yeah, because you guys can't come to a conclusion, you and somebody else. You guys can't compromise. It's just been difficult to compromise on something. You guys don't see eye to eye. Okay. We'll see what comes up in your career and finances. But I think also too, Scorpio, whatever this is, whatever you're trying to work with someone else on or compromise or come to an understanding of, don't feel bad, because it does seem like you are actually doing everything you can do to make it work. But if the other person is stubborn or isn't able to meet you halfway, what can you do? Right? What can you do? What is the Emperor, please, for obstacle to overcome for Scorpio? The Star coming out. Hope, faith, rejuvenation. I'm seeing, you know what Spirit just gave me? Spirit, I don't know if anybody watched this or if my followers have. If y'all ever watched Handmaid's Tale, I never watched the last season because I'm going to be honest. Handmaid's Tale was getting a little bit too traumatizing, and I was like, I can't keep watching this because June, I feel like, had so many ample opportunities to get herself out, and her character was starting to piss me off, but also what was happening in the show is like, this is a little too close to what is happening. So I never finished it. But if you've watched The Handmaid's Tale, then you know June was like adamant about getting out. And I feel like that's kind of where you are. When I look at this reading, you are adamant about getting yourself out of a circumstance, and it is requiring faith and hope. So I think maybe there's a boss or someone to overcome to get out of your situation, or you're just needing to take leadership and to get out of your situation. Yeah, hard work. You're trying to take control of a situation that's been really difficult. But I feel like it does feel very do or die. Your scenario, your situation, it does feel very dire. Like I've got to almost like if you don't get out, like, because I'm thinking about June, like she was always trying to escape with like the most impossible circumstances, like needing to meet somebody with the car right at the right time, needing to hide, needing to, she was always like just about to get caught. And I'm not saying that's your situation, but like you're trying to do something with high stakes in a short amount of time. And if you don't make this work, you don't know what you're going to do. That's what I'm feeling from this reading. It's not that this reading in particular is especially heavy, because I don't have the Three of Swords, Six of Swords, and all that. But I am seeing that I'm feeling and sensing you are desperately wanting to change your situation. And you're like, I have to do this or else. You know what I mean? Okay, let's pick one tarot card each for what you're needing to decide between for the major accomplishment. Two of Swords. Okay, what's option A for Scorpio? Look, it's Eight of Swords again and Queen of Cups. What's option A for Scorpio by the end of the month? Option A? Option B? Okay. Option A is Ten of Swords. Option B is Three of Wands. Baby, this is a stay or go if I ever saw one. This is a stay or go if I ever saw one. So Ten of Swords, which is here, your key goal to pursue, which it seems like you'll be doing, or Three of Wands, expansion, growth, leveling up. Going back to my example of the storefront. You're either going to decide I'm going to make rent this last month and then I'm going to end the lease. I'm going to terminate the lease and I'm just going to accept defeat and move on. Or I'm going to figure out a way to have a sale and grow and actually be able to stay here. You're making an important decision between staying or growing. growing, growing, because the Three of Wands is expansion, growth, next level, waiting on your ships to come in. You're really, again, kind of like June. Do I stay here and continue suffering? Or do I figure out a way to get out of this hellhole? Right? I don't know. Scorpio, damn. Damn. All right. What to avoid is pretty clear to me. Avoid putting too much on your plate. Let's clarify why the world is here, what to embrace. Please clarify the world, please, for Scorpio. Ace of Pentacles, because a new opportunity is coming through, a new opportunity for growth. So maybe this is leaving a job and getting a new offer, starting a new business. Sometimes I do look at the Ace of Pentacles as conception, sometimes, because again, it is something that can grow, right? So we're ending a chapter so that we can start a new venture, start a new beginning somehow. And the Queen of Cups is pretty clear. Let's just clarify if this is about self-healing. Can you clarify if the Queen of Cups here is about self-soothing or someone else for Scorpio, please? Where can they find support? Within themselves or someone else? We got the Lovers. So this could be a Gemini in your life or a romantic partner where you're going to find the compassion and a safe space that you need. Or this could be a divine union, partnership, business relationship, friendship. The Lovers is also duality. So it could be about reconnecting with your values, reconnecting with your higher power, your higher self, right? Take a minute to pause here, rewind whatever you need, reflect and really think about what jumped out at you. Let's see what we have for your love and relationships, and I'll be sure to call out to you any cards that are repeating. Okay, so because I like you guys to look up and meditate on the repeating cards. All right, I'm going to stop here. Let's keep going. And you classy back, you do everything I like, and you're nothing back, and my swag just like that. I don't know why I was thinking about Indigo. That's one of my favorite songs by Chris Brown. Yellow mood free, purple like a beaming, a dreaming indigo. Baby, what you wanna do tonight? What you got for me to try? Okay. Your love life. Your cards are shuffled. Let's see what we've got. Back of the deck energy is Two of Cups reversed. Did we experience a separation, or are you and Bay out of sync? This is back of the deck energy. I often look at the back of the deck energy as events that have already transpired. Okay. And to me, that's what's looking like sort of happens. There will be a reunion. There will be a reunion. Okay. Let's see what comes out of the Romance Angels. Scorpio, September 2025, please. Do you have anything else for Scorpio? Any other guidance for Scorpio? Okay, well, the wedding card flipped over, but then two of these flipped out. All right. And let's just say this situation involves marriage. I don't know if anybody y'all are creeping around. I don't know. But that feels less relevant to me based on what's in front of me, okay? Let's get into this, Scorpio. What is expected starting the month of September is the Six of Swords reversed and the Three of Pentacles. When I see the Three of Pentacles in a love reading, it's about teamwork and collaboration. So you are trying to work something out with your partner. The Six of Swords is typically about transition, moving on, turning away from something that's kind of falling apart before it's too late. Now, when we have that energy reversed, the Six of Swords typically represents unfinished business. So you are trying to work something out with your person. You are trying to compromise. You're trying to see. And remember I said, I don't know if the Ten of Swords in terms of the Kegel to pursue relates to your love life, because you're trying to work a situation out. But like I said, there seems to be lack of compromise, Scorpio. I don't know what's going on, but maybe it's in another area of your life. Everyone's situation is going to be different watching this reading. The unexpected here is the Knight of Wands and the Magician. So it seems like Scorpio, you're manifesting potentially a new person, a new connection. The magician is like able to call in whatever she wants, whatever she desires, with a little bit of effort and good vibes, right? Knight of Wands, fire sign energy here again, which was your theme of the month. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, but also somebody who's very passionate. So, in the romance reading, it's like white knight energy. It's someone who's like kind of coming in and kind of giving you all those like lovey-dovey vibe that you want. Now you just got to be careful because the Knight of Wands can be a player. So you might have attracted a rebound. Okay, this might not be your person. Okay, this might be a good time, not a long time, right? I'm here to help. Okay. Now, what is coming up for you, or like what the theme of September is for you in your love life? We've got Nine of Pentacles reversed. This to me feels like you're coming back to remembering your worth. Okay, Nine of Pentacles is typically independence, luxury, and abundance. When she's reversed, I do feel that she's realized she's been taken for granted. She has kind of lost herself in a relationship a little bit. Six of Cups is looking towards the past, reminiscing about the way things used to be. And maybe even with this relationship, this spread here in front of me, it may be hard for you to accept that things have changed, that your person has changed, and maybe you guys aren't able to grow together like you would like, because we acknowledge and accept that people change, but it can be really, really difficult that throughout that change, we kind of have to realize like, I can't roll with you through this, you know? So I think there's a lot of reminiscing and reflecting on the past, maybe even wondering, how did we get here? Like, what went wrong? You may be blaming yourself a lot. We do have the Three of Cups, which is why I said I feel like there will be a reunion. The Three of Cups is like getting together, friends, family, um, especially like, for a girls' night kind of thing. It's very similar to the Four of Wands, but the Four of Wands is more like a celebration. So think like a graduation party, a cookout, a concert, that kind of thing. Whereas the Three of Cups is kind of like we're getting together for a wine night, Um, but again, it's reunion. So for me, there's some sort of kiki happening. It could also be that your girls realize that you're down and out and say, hey, bitch, you've been a little bit too depressed. Let's get the fuck out so you can go ahead and get you another one and forget about his ass, It could be that energy, which would be good friends. Queen of Swords energy here, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But this is also, I think, you getting back to a space where you're just like mentally thinking clearly and not as emotional as maybe you typically are, and kind of getting back to your joy, getting back to your happiness. I think getting together with your friends is really, really helping you this month come back to yourself. Does that make sense? Let's talk about these oracle messages. I have separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon, but I don't think that's a surprise to you. I really don't. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. I am going to read this message. We also have attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. This card is like about being present, kind of very similar to the Magician. It's very like law of attraction energy. What you focus on, you bring about. Like if you're doing the things you love, if you're making yourself happy, filling your cup, you're going to attract more positive experiences. That's really the message of the attraction card. Calling in your soulmate. Now, whenever I see, I've been working with these cards long enough, whenever I see separation and calling in your soulmate, for me, this is a severing of a connection, and you're realizing, you know what? I'm going to get me another. This is like I'm back on Hinge. This is me saying I'm making a new list. This is me saying, okay, I'm going to sit at the bar and look cute. It's not necessarily that soulmate is coming in. It's that you are redirecting your intentions and realizing, okay, that didn't work, but that's not going to stop me from calling in the love that I truly want. That's kind of the energy, So let's look at let go of control issues. Here we go. The romance angels have heard your prayers about your love life. Now it's up to you to allow their help to manifest by stepping out of their way. By trying to control other people or external circumstances, you'll only frustrate yourself and slow down your answered prayer. There are plenty of times in life that call for you to take charge, but this isn't one of them. Of course, maybe that's why obstacle to overcome, the Emperor, right? Like you're trying to force a reconnection, trying to force that person to get back together. Okay, You got it? Of course, it's fine to have your preferences, practice visualizations, and hold intentions. Definitely ask the angels for your desires. This card is a reminder, however, that your prayer may be answered differently from what you had in mind. Be open to all possibilities and trust in God's infinite wisdom and compassionate love. Control issues are based upon fears that others, including God, won't live up to your expectations. This is also called outlining, where you hand the universe a script of how you want it and everyone to behave. Outlining could cause you to overlook an even more beautiful way in which your prayer may be answered. So please call upon the romance angels to elevate your levels of trust so that you can enjoy the creative avenues by which true love can come to you. Something I think about all the time, one of the kind of like mindset thought leaders I like to think about is Amanda Frances. I do think, I'm not going to talk too much about her. I like her book, and I'll leave it there. But one thing she talks about a lot is this or something better. And so I apply that to relationships because I have an anxious attachment style. So it's very easy for me to like meet one person and I'm like, oh my God, Tom Brady, he's it. Tom Brady's my husband and that's it. Fuck everybody else. Like we're about to, I'm planning the wedding. I'm looking at dates, right? And then if it doesn't work out with me and Tom Brady, then I'm just like, oh, what am I going to do? And so something I've had to coach myself through over the years is Tom Brady or someone better. In terms of the message of like, you've got the outlining. You can't be like, this is the list. This is what I need, Spirit. You're not paying attention. We don't know everything. We don't know how you might change, how I might change. And Spirit knows what we need in the future, right? So even though my present self is like, Tom Brady, they were it. They don't know that I'm not really even attracted to Tom Brady. It's just the first man's name that came to mind. But lo and behold, Spirit got a Morris chestnut. Okay, Spirit got a Morris chestnut in the bush, in the cut. I don't even know about. And let me lay eyes on that Morris chestnut. Forget about Tom Brady, baby. Okay, so it has to be Tom Brady or someone better. That's the vibe. We can't lock in on, because that's how people get caught up in the attracting a specific person, content. And I've been there. It's so easy to be like, I need this person. I need to say my affirmations. We're going to be together. We're meant to be. I just know that. I'm not saying that's not your truth, but you literally have to be open to that person not being your person. If you clutch, you can never receive. Okay. I'm off my soapbox. Let's move on to your career and finances. All right, Scorpio, back of the deck energy for your career and finances is the Devil reverse. The Devil does represent the sign of Capricorn, but it could also point to releasing something or someone, releasing maybe a material item that was draining you, releasing an addiction, maybe addiction to gambling because that relates to your finances, or like scratch tickets, lotto tickets, or even letting go of a job, So let's see what comes out now for your present. 8 of Cups. So I feel like literally Libra had almost the same energy, almost. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So your financial situation is frustrating for sure. Oh, what do you have for Scorpio, please, for September 2025? Okay, here we go. 8 of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune is where you are, what you're expecting. So we've got 8 of Cups, which is, again, expecting to walk away from something. Remember, your key goal to pursue was defeat, endings. I really think there's something that you're starting off the September month with, of knowing that something's got to end. It may be how it ends is tricky for you. Maybe a relationship needs to end, but you're not able to find the words. That could be difficult. But we're talking about specifically your career and finances here. So when I see the Wheel of Fortune, that's such a good card to have. This is good fortune, good karma, abundance. The karmic wheel is turning. As you can see, she's on top and she's got her lucky dice. Now, it seems to me, also too, I like this deck because she's walking towards a sunrise. You're walking away from something that was emotionally unfulfilling. because you finally have the resources and the good luck and good fortune behind you to walk towards a better circumstance, a better situation for yourself. This could be a new job. This could be a better investment. This could be better partnerships. Something is definitely working out in your favor, but you're being called to walk away from something. All right, the unexpected is the Queen of Wands reverse and the Five of Pentacles reverse. Queen of Wands is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I'm going to show them to you upright. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It also represents someone who's charismatic and very spontaneous and fun, and also a manifester. Like, she's kind of like, a lot of people describe the Queen of Wands as the witch of the tarot. Like, she's able to call in what she wants. She's able to make magic, right? The Five of Pentacles is need, hardship, and kind of feeling abandoned. When we have that energy reversed, the Queen of Wands is typically kind of withdrawn, and the Five of Pentacles typically represents sometimes coming out of financial hardship, but also maybe unable to ask for help, or kind of being stuck in a rut. I feel like I am leaning towards more like rut energy. I think unexpectedly you are in a little woe is me energy, feeling like nobody wants to help you, feeling like you're just trying to stay low, stay indoors, don't want anybody to know what's going on with you. And I do agree, because remember, advice and encouragement was Seven of Swords. So I understand for you why you're feeling that. But I do hope that maybe the people closest to you know what's going on, so they can encourage you and help you through whatever financial circumstance you're trying to navigate. Because I feel like there's going to be a point this month where you just kind of shut down, is what it's looking like to me, unexpectedly. And you're probably watching this and you're like, no, Whitney, I'm in good spirits. I'm fine. Well, that's why it's unexpected. Because you're going to get to the middle of the month and you're going to be like, fuck, this is what we was talking about. And it may not even be like financial exactly. Like, maybe the bank account is fine, but you're still feeling abandoned or feeling unsupported in relation to your career and finances, feeling like maybe you've got to do a project all by yourself and it's making you feel isolated. That could be the energy here. We also have outlook. I want to talk about this in relation to this card because I think it connects. Improve your relationship with money to help grow your wealth. You may have conflicting values that impose negatively on your values around money. Change behavior and develop better money habits. So we got to change our outlook. There's like a ton. I listen to a ton of like content and mindset things about wealth and abundance. So, which is why on my channel, I promote Cutie Meditations channel, because I like her subliminal music. I think, listen, just go to her channel. Trust me. That alone, listening to her music will just help you subconsciously rewire your brain. Okay. All right, so theme of the month is, again, Seven of Swords. We already know that you're trying to stay low. You're trying to kind of keep some things hidden from people in your life. You're trying to stay low about what you're doing, trying to be strategic. Magician. However, you feel like you don't have all the resources you need to make the moves you want to make. King of Wands reverse. Again, kind of, remember I said, similar to the Emperor, leadership, direction, visionary, creative. When it's reversed, sometimes this can represent a bad boss, a bad leader. But I think this is more about you kind of like not knowing which way to go. I don't know why I just heard Cassie, because we got a long way to go. I don't even know all the lyrics of that song, but if that's relevant to you, please look it up. It's feeling like you feel defeated before you even get started. And I feel that. And Three of Swords here, you're just like, how I'm like sorrow, anguish, hurt. This isn't always connected to love. You can still experience the Three of Swords related to career and finances. The Chariot reversed, not moving forward. You're just kind of stuck. There's an energy here where you feel really stuck. However, I kept kind of pulling cards. We do have the Ten of Pentacles here, legacy, wealth, and abundance. Now, potentially there's some money squabbles involving family. That could be a message here. But when I see the Ten of Pentacles upright, you will eventually get to your destination, but but you're traveling on a rocky road, an unpaved road. Traveling on an unpaved road. It feels like to me, Scorpio, you have some resources. Okay. Okay, let's keep going with the scenario of the shop, the retail shop. You get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm going to pay that last month rent, right? Before I close my doors. But now you're like, well, now how am I going to get money? Well, now what am I going to do? Am I going to do hair out of my fucking van? Like, now that I don't have a shop, I can't pay for a retail location, but I also can't do hair out of my house because my mom is staying with me. I got dogs. I can't do business out of there. How am I going to? It almost feels like, how am I going to do this? It feels like a how problem. And so you're just trying to regroup. You're trying to regroup, Scorpio. I think you will achieve your goal, but you got to give yourself time and space to sit in silence and to hear how God is trying to move you. Truly. Let's look at your other oracle messages. We have the Explorer card. Keep trying. There are no mistakes, just opportunities to learn and grow. You may be called to explore careers that match your fearlessness and curiosity. I wanted to say that. It does feel like maybe, I'm not sure that this is like, I'm hesitant to say this is about you getting fired. I almost feel like this is more like you wanting to leave your job, but not able to. I mean, a lot of people are having that experience right now. A lot of people hate their job. They're trying to find a better job, but the job market sucks. So they feel like they're stuck in a job that they hate and they're fucking miserable with a boss that they fucking hate. Like, I kind of feel like that if you would like work a 9 to 5, maybe you're not an entrepreneur, maybe you don't have a retail location. That kind of feels like the energy here and you just feel stuck. But there is going to be a situation that kind of just turns around for you. Okay. Last bullet. You may need to go wandering and trust the unknown. That's where magic lies. You're going to have to make a gut decision. Remember, major accomplishment, 2 of Swords. Are we going to stay where we are, 10 of Swords, or are we going to grow, 3 of Wands? Expansion, growth, next level. Okay. All right. Counselor is also here. I low-key feel like you might need some therapy. I kind of feel. Okay. Maybe time for some emotional healing of your own or release the past. Yes. Careers in counseling, psychic work, or energy healing may appeal to you. Your mental or emotional troubles could be blocking your abundance. Pause here if you need to. If you want to just, sometimes I do that. Because there's people I follow. I have got to turn this fan off. There are people that I follow on YouTube, and I watch their readings, and sometimes they just say something that just really resonates with me, and I pause it. And I'm like, let me sit on that for a minute. Or even an audio. I do that with audiobooks. If I listen to an audiobook while I'm driving and somebody says something really profound, I'm like, ooh, let me pause. Let me think on that and see how it applies to my life. So don't be afraid to do that during these readings. Go back, listen, pause, be like, how does that apply to me? Because sometimes it can be so much at once, Okay, your oracle card. I don't know what it is, but I did pick one. I'm using Crystal Spirits this month. Let's see what it is. And we have, I don't even know what this is. Agarine, girl. We're going to go with Agarine. That's what we're going to go with. I don't know if it's right. It's feeling like Lapis Lazuli and Labradorite had a baby. That's what it looks like to me. I do not have this crystal. I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's also number 1. Interesting. Also number 1. Essential meaning, integrity, solidarity, impeccability. I haven't thought about that word in forever. Impeccability, reliability, consistency. Although we are always evolving, we all possess deeply held values that we do not have to compromise. You see how I be knowing? Your personal integrity matters. So if you're feeling pressure to say yes when your heart says no, or to be something you're not, listen to the message of Adrian Spirit brings you. Listen to the message Adrian Spirit brings you. Now is the time to remember the importance of being reliable and impeccable with your word. If you really wanted to say no, don't say yes for now and try to correct your mistake later. People may struggle to accept your truth and your decisions, but stick to them. Be solid and consistent, because what matters to you deep down matters to the conscious universe, who loves you. If you are feeling unsure, doubting whether you have a right to take a stand, become still and reconnect with the conscious universe through this crystal. It's not your job to protect everyone's feelings and keep the peace at all costs. And that's big for my people pleasers. It's not your job to protect everyone's feelings and keep the peace at all costs. You don't have to rush about smoothing everything over. Be at peace as you stand firm, for your deepest values are in sync with your purpose. And the conscious universe wants you to feel and be strong now. This is like the meditation. It says, Adrienne helps pull us out of our emotions and place us firmly in the well of our strength. Meditation with the stone can assist in showing us how far we have come in our journey. It encourages us to embody all we have learned and reclaim our power. I do not know why Cassie is in my head. Let me see if I can look it up. What are the lyrics of that song? Because we got a long way to go. I haven't thought about it. I haven't heard it. Y'all know that song? Ooh, 2006, y'all. I'm old. I'm going to read the lyrics. I love it when they try to get intimate, even though they know I really ain't into it. I already know the game and I've been through it. See, I buy my own bags, my boots, my jeans, wear Le Rock with my rebel yell. You know what? And this is crazy because we be so caught up in like having the latest and greatest, and it just is always changing. Anyway, wear Le Rock with my rebel yell underneath. You want to step to me? Said you got a long way to go. Rock with me now. But he'd be like, rock with me now. You know? Anyway, you claim that you're so hot and you say you got skills in the bedroom. You try to front when you're so not. Had a chance, you still never come through. And that be the tea. You had a chance, but you ain't come through. Okay? You say you won't come see me because you know your girlfriend want to be me. I'm going to tell you you can't. Said you got a long way to go. Want to love me, want to touch me. Think twice because you got a long way to go. Look, y'all get the gist. I hope that was helpful, Scorpio. I love you so much. I'm going to stop here and move on to Sagittarius. But you will get through this. It really feels like you've got an important decision to make. But don't try to please others in the process. Do what's best for you, okay? You will get through this, as always.